Hello everyone, I'm Steve Wilson with the Friday Night Locker Room and Space Coast Daily TV, coming to you from the Urban Automotive Studio located at the corner of State Road 520 and US 1 in Cocoa. Today's show is brought to you by Urban Automotive and sponsored by Craig Technologies, Sided Space, and Auto Expo 95. I'm honored today to be joined by my guests. You know, whenever someone volunteers their time and expects nothing in return, that's just about as good as it gets. My two guests today fall into that category. They're both members of the Pineda Waterway Warriors, and I'd like to introduce to my immediate left, Cheryl Spaccio. Cheryl, thank you for joining us. How are you?
Good today.
Good to see you. And to my far left, Sharon Knoll. Sharon,
Yes.
thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and thank you very much for having us.
You're very welcome. I love your colorful shirts. I feel,
Yes,
I
that's
feel
our
out of
color.
sync here. I'm
You
the only one
cannot
with a
miss
dull
us.
color. The
Yeah.
Pineda Waterway Warriors. Cheryl, tell us a little bit about who they are and what they do.
We adopted the Pineda Causeway almost 2 years ago, about 18 months ago, and it's 4 miles going east and then 4 miles going west. So it's really actually a total of 8 miles that we cover. And our mission is to help our community understand the causes and the harmful impact that waterway debris is for it, and then empower them to act.
You cover primarily the Pineda Causeway. Is that your area?
Yes, that is the only area that we have adopted this time. Yeah.
Sharon, how did you get involved with the organization?
Oh my gosh, I have been...
Long story, huh?
Long
Yeah.
story. I've been cleaning up the causeway for a number of years, and back in 2021 I had a cleanup event in which the other 3 members of the Core 4, Cheryl being one of them, participated at that cleanup event.
Okay.
And we have just grown since 2021. And the 4 of us together decided to actually start the nonprofit and be a little bit more organized. And we've grown from 4 volunteers
Yes.
to closing on 50
Wow.
that come
Basis,
out
yeah.
twice a month, and anywhere between 25 and 50 that come out twice a month and participate. And it has been
Phenomenal.
phenomenal. It's
Yeah.
been a fantastic experience with all the volunteers and especially with the Core 4.
Yeah. Cheryl, what's something that might surprise the general public? You pick up twice a month.
Right.
Is there a lot of trash over that period of time? Is that something that the public may say,
Yeah.
wow, I didn't realize that was that much?
And I
or-
think that is actually what has transpired is that we pick up on the second and fourth Saturday of every month from 8 to 10.
Okay.
And initially, I was shocked. I was not aware of how much trash was on our causeway.
Yeah.
And I really don't think our community understood or even was aware of it. When you drive back and forth across the Pineda, you just see
You
litter.
don't see it. Yeah, you don't see it as much.
Right.
You
Yes.
may see it, but not as much.
No, but when you get out of your car and you walk to the shoreline, that's when you discover couches, fences, computer monitors, things like that that you don't get to see from the road.
Sharon, we all wish people would do the right thing, but as we know, oftentimes they don't, which is one reason why you all exist. Is it frustrating? Can it be frustrating for you when you're walking, you're thinking to yourself, gosh, I was just here 2 weeks ago and I've got the same mess to clean up? Can it be frustrating when you're out there?
It can be frustrating, but we use the frustration as positive motivation.
Right.
So really the question is, why is the debris there?
Yeah.
Why is the trash there? Is it accidentally blowing out of the back of a truck?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? That's an accident, and we're there to pick it up. Is it being thoughtlessly left behind by a fisherman or a partier or homeless or whatever? Is it just thoughtless? And then maybe we can enact a solution on that, which we believe that we have at least
Yes.
found part of the solution. And then there, unfortunately, is deliberate dumping.
Yeah.
And people just backing their truck up and dumping
Dumping.
off fencing material
Tiles.
and furniture. So is there frustration?
Sometimes.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it has propelled us
Most
into positive action.
So you accumulate the garbage and the trash is picked up twice a month. Where do you take it from there? How do you haul it off?
Well, what
or
we
do you?
do-
Does somebody come pick it up?
Yeah, we have a partnership with FDOT,
Okay.
and what we do is that we leave all of the trash that we collected at either the west side sign or the east side sign. We have a sign at each end of the causeway, and they come and pick it up for us and dispose of it properly.
Why Pineda Causeway? Why not the Merritt Island Causeway? Why not Oak Alley? Or how did you select Pineda
Had to
Causeway?
start somewhere.
Yeah,
This is
just
true.
the beginning.
We had to start
Yeah.
somewhere. And
It's all locally from where we travel it a lot, and all of our homes are right there, so
Yeah,
we
that
see it
makes
the
sense.
most.
yeah.
And we talked a minute ago about seeing the debris. A lot of people ride by and don't see it from the road until you get down there. What's some of the, I don't know if crazy is the right word, what are some of the most unique things that you have found alongside of the road?
Oh, wow.
Too many to answer, maybe?
Well, I mean, we have things like furniture, couches, recliners, tables,
Mattresses.
an armoire,
Wow.
things like that. We've got things that are left behind by fishermen, coolers, things
Yeah.
like that. Besides the
Clothing.
cans of clothing, cans, bottles, cardboard, debris like that. We have found weapons. We find needles. We
That's
find
scary.
Yes.
it is. So when we realized that this was happening, we actually started to develop protocols.
Yes.
And so now we have specific protocols that align with both FDOT and the county law enforcement.
Yeah.
And we now have a protocol for almost every single thing we
Fine.
found. Yeah, exactly.
Because if it's gasoline or paint, then we have to dispose of it a different way.
Yeah. In this day and age, you have to, because as you mentioned, you go out to the landfill and, recycle's over here, trash is over here.
Mm-hmm. Right. We're the same.
There's more to it than just, let's haul it to the dump.
Right.
Get somebody to pick it up.
Exactly. And now that we have FDOT has employed a contractor that works with us to pick up our piles,
Yes.
it is up to us to communicate to the contractor
Yeah.
if
What?
there's something
Dangerous.
there. Exactly. It's
Yeah.
dangerous, hazardous, things like that. And it's been a fantastic partnership.
relationship. Yeah,
It really has. The Florida Department of Transportation has come right alongside. And whatever we need, it is a true partnership that they can provide.
And that has to make you feel good when the outside agencies, the local governments or the county
Yes.
gets involved or the state supports. You're out there by yourself, but you're not out there by yourself.
Right.
You've got
Exactly.
reinforcement, somebody comes to take it. You're taking it to point A, from A to B, and they're taking it from B to C, and that's great. So you are a nonprofit, correct?
Yes.
If someone is watching this and would like to get involved with your organization, how do they go about doing that?
Well, first, probably the easiest way is to go to our Facebook page. Send us a private message, take a look at the pictures, follow us,
Yeah.
and
Share us.
Share us
Yeah.
would be fantastic, and send us a private message with your contact information, and we absorb that, put that on our database. Not spammed or anything
No.
like that. This is strictly only for events that are going on within the Waterway Warrior world.
And what is your biggest need right now? Is it manpower, financial, or if you had a Christmas wish list, what would be up top?
Probably donations and manpower. Those are the two things we need the most.
And you all have been doing this, you said at the outset, since
18 months.
you've been doing for
18 months
now.
legitimate with the four of us.
Yeah.
Probably more organized about 18 months.
So do you see this venture continuing on for some time?
Most definitely. Just like last year, all of last year, we collected 18,500 pounds of trash.
Wow.
So far this year, we've already collected 23,000 pounds.
That's
Just in a half a year. So we've already exceeded our goals of what we wanted to do. But totally, when you put them all together, we've done over 23 tons of trash just off the Pineda.
it's amazingly good and it's amazingly scary to know that there's that much out there, and that's just one section of Brevard County. That's the
Exactly.
Pineda Causeway.
Yes.
I can only imagine how much is spread countywide.
Yes.
Correct.
And I know you all don't do it for the accolades. I see
No.
the smile on your face, but it has to make you feel good to know that you're making an impact.
Most definitely, most definitely.
And-
And it's nice to know that the community is noticing too, because something that was kind of cute after the fact is that if you look at our signs, I mean, the stacks of trash are between 6 to 8 foot tall and about 10 foot wide. And the people of our community were not aware of all this trash. And so what they started doing is calling the sheriff's department, calling FDOT, calling the county, and reporting this trash that keeps
Yeah.
piling up at this sign. And all
Yeah.
these agencies know who we are, so they were trying
Yeah.
to tell them, but it just wasn't getting across 'cause there's so many people. So we have a sign out there now that says, volunteers pick this up, Pineda Waterway Warriors. And now we have all these followers,
Yeah.
and now they're excited. And they're like, we didn't know. No one told us we had that much trash out there.
Yeah.
And no one told them that they can be a part of the solution.
Exactly.
And I think that's what's so exciting about kind of working together within the organization is you can be a part of the solution. And if it's not on Pineda, it's going to be someplace
Somewhere
else that we can come up alongside and actually solve it on a bigger, solve the problem on a bigger scale.
Yes.
And if the problem is the trash next on the roadways next to the waterways, that's the problem. The trash on the roadways next to the waterways. And we can absolutely make a big
difference.
impact, a big difference. So if people can and are willing to volunteer, 1 hour a month, 1 hour every 6 months, it just
Huge
makes
impact.
a huge
It
difference.
does.
And you all are making a big difference and a big impact. Before I let you go, I'm going to give you the floor and ask you each for your final thoughts. Here's your camera right there. We'll start first.
Go ahead.
Sharon, with you.
My final thought is come join us. We are a fantastic group of volunteers, and as I said, 1 hour, you can make an impact on our waterways. The problem with the trash, quite frankly, is it lands in the water and it sinks down to the bottom of the water, so the floor of the river. And no grass, no seagrass can grow underneath that piece of trash. And seagrass is the most essential
Essential.
part of the sustainability and the health of our waterways. So if you can help us, come pick up a piece of trash. That would be so impactful.
Nicely said. Cheryl, your final thoughts.
Come join us, be a part of the solution. Be a waterway warrior.
I like it. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me today and
Thank you,
helping
Steve.
spread the word. What you're doing out there, you are to be commended. As I mentioned a minute ago, I know you're not doing it for the accolades, but I want to give both of you a pat on the back, because if we have more individuals like yourself and your organization, so many problems would vanish as it relates to trash, garbage, the Indian River Lagoon, everything, every issue we have, so much of that. But keep up the good work.
Thank you. Come
Thank
join
you.
us, Steve.
You just never know.
You never know.
Yeah, I may walk around the corner and say, "Who's that guy?" I recognize the face. but
We'd
I'll
love
never
that.
know.
Yeah.
Thanks again for joining us
Oh,
today.
thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
very welcome. So for my very special guests today, Sharon and Cheryl for the Pineda Waterway Warriors, and for all of our sponsors, including Urban Automotive, Craig Technologies, Sidus Space, and Auto Expo 95. I'm Steve Wilson with the Friday Night Locker Room and Space Coast Daily TV. We'll see you next time.
Get your business launched with Space Coast